Are you lonely? Are you surrounded by nature? Nothing but trees as far as you can see. Good. Then you're the perfect prey. People are big and slow and easy to find. By the time you even decide to run, it will be too late. Because everything in the woods that would want to devour you is faster than you and infinitely quieter. The good news is your life will be over before you even know what's happening. Good luck. You'll need it when you're alone in the woods. I was a young teenage boy living with my dad in a small rural town of about 2,400 people. We had recently moved because my dad found a better paying job here. It was a quiet little town with not much to do, but the work was good, so we stuck to it. I went to a nearby school there about 2 miles away from my home and would have to walk there every day. My dad usually woke up very early and would be out of the house before I woke up. It wasn't a big deal though, and I quickly got used to walking the 2-lane roads alone. There was this one particular shortcut that I would go through though, where I could save about 15 minutes along my route. It was one of those gravel pathways that connected the 2 main roads together, and it was usually empty, which meant I'd have to go alone for a few minutes as I walked through it. There were significant gaps between the houses, being a heavily wooded area, so my dad said to always take the main road. But I always wanted to get home earlier, so I took it. Along the pathway, there was a run-down, abandoned-looking house, which had definitely not been taken care of. Its windows were dusty, and there was old garbage strewn about all over the place. Everything about it made my fear senses perk up. When I walked past it, I would sing out loud to myself, trying to banish my fearful feelings. I knew it was useless though, but it made me feel better. One day I was walking home from school, and it started to get pretty cloudy outside. A strong thunderstorm was growing, and heavy clouds were making it darker than usual. I wanted to get home as fast as possible because I didn't want to get soaked, but to do that, I would have to take the gravel shortcut. The road was already pretty dark, considering the cloud coverage combined with the trees' shade. If it was this dark on the main road, it would definitely be much darker on that pathway. But I didn't think of that then. I weighed my options, took a moment, but I bravely made the decision to take the shortcut, just so I could get home quicker. After all, I'd done it so many times before, so I thought I'd just run through it and be done with it. It began to rain heavily, and the thunderous roars grew louder. I lowered my head and began to walk faster. I eventually got to the pathway and looked into it. To my utter dismay, it was pretty spooky. I stared for a moment at the pathway, weighing my options again. I didn't really want to turn around though, and go back the long way, only to get more soaked, and by now my house was literally so close. I knew the pathway pretty much by heart and didn't really need that much light to get through it, so I decided to keep going. I began going with a quick stride instead of a walk now. It got darker fast the further that I went in. My whole body was telling me to turn around and to go the long way, but I was already halfway through it. I quickly picked up the pace and went on. Soon I was 3/4 through the way and was about to pass that old rusty house. I was running pretty fast at this point and freaking out too, as I was all alone in this dark, wooded place, with the ominous sounds of rumbling thunder all around me. I passed the house and decided to take a quick glance at it. I looked at one of the windows and my heart suddenly stopped. This clearly noticeable silhouette with dimly lit red eyes was just staring at me. I felt a cold chill engulfing my body, like it was touching my insides. I must have had an overload of adrenaline at this point, because I suddenly got this jolt of energy and was out of there before I knew it. I I got home in a daze, not sure if I had imagined that red-eyed thing or not, and my whole body was aching and felt weak. Being at least an hour before my dad would get home, I went to my neighbor's house and told them what I saw. They were quite skeptical, but they comforted me and were very understanding. When my dad heard about my story, he was kind of mad at first, as I did not take the main road home as he told me to. But he got over it. We went back there together sometime afterward in order to check out who lived there, to see what that old creepy place was all about. Turns out that a 90-something-year-old couple was living there, but the wife had recently passed away and the man was bedridden for a while. So, who did I saw in the window? Or what did I saw? I still don't know to this day. But I never dared step foot on that road alone after that, nor will I ever take that route again.